Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming here today. Today we're going to talk about histrionic personality disorder. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of a definition of what it is, and then I also want to give you tips to manage it. You can actually use these tips for other people as well. You can use it for explosive anger. You can use it for manipulating people. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Thank you so much for those of you who are subscribed, who have come back to my channel, and those of you who are new and have no idea who I am. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and stick around with us, learn a little bit more about me in my area of expertise, and become a part of our growing every hour community. It is so awesome to watch it grow, and I owe that to you guys. Thank you so much. So let me just define to you what a histrionic personality is, okay? Have you ever seen an individual who is so dramatic, so dramatic, that they have an inability to bring their emotions and their control to a certain place where things are more structured, more understandable? Have you ever seen an individual who's so impulsive that they can't function appropriately? Have you ever seen an individual who looks like they're acting on a stage, that they are theatrical, okay? That they have no ability whatsoever to regulate their emotions, their thought patterns, their responses, their reactions, their behaviors. They are completely out of control. Now, there are also some histrionic individuals or histrionic traits in people who tend to cry loudly. They tend to laugh loudly. They tend to be like overly dramatic and flamboyant, okay? They tend to be, really high maintenance, sometimes arrogant, sometimes calculating and manipulative. Their reaction to life and to things and to triggers and frustration is so disproportionate to the trigger that it almost looks like the person is unauthentic, right? That they're just trying to be this huge actor on a stage, that they always need attention. There are other histrionic personality traits as well, but these tend to be the most specific and the ones that clinicians look for the most, okay? There's another kind of histrionic individual who may not be a loud crier, may not be somebody who laughs loud and is just so overly flamboyant and extravagant that they can't be controlled, that they always want to be noticed. There's another person besides that, and the other person would be somebody who's constantly altering their physical appearance to get attention. Somebody that has extravagant looking clothing, hair, shoes, the whole 9 yards, right? Those kind of individuals, you can see some histrionic traits in them, right? They don't care what they look like. They just want the attention. It does something for them. So how do you deal with these individuals when they become manipulative and controlling and angry and explosive? Well, let's start out with number one. And I always encourage my clients and those I've seen in the past who deal with a family member, a friend, a colleague like this, is to not get sucked in. The moment you get sucked in, that's the moment you're giving your control. Histrionic personalities love loudness and brightness and flamboyance. They love to be whimsical. They love to be, theatrical, right? Everything is huge and amazing, and right? So if you feed into them, then you're giving them that red carpet that they need you to roll out for them, right? You're letting them use you as the lights, camera, and the action. So do not get sucked in. I know it's hard. Do not get sucked in, okay? The next one, build emotional barriers. The moment you begin to build emotional barriers is the moment you will start not getting sucked in. You have to have up a defense. You have to have up a wall. You have to have a strong constitution. And one of the reasons why I suggest this, guys, is because the minute your constitution fails, your strong constitution, the minute your wall and defenses fall, that histrionic personality is going to manipulate you to no end. They're going to get over on you. They're going to say you said or did things you did not do. They're going to pathologically lie on you. They might start to exhibit their narcissistic and psychopathic traits. They might start triangulating between you, them, and another person, right? Creating this triangle. And once that gets started, then they have everything they need to be loud and boisterous, right? Because again, you've given them a red carpet, so avoid that. The next thing is to know thyself. You have to know who you are in order to stand up against your enemy. If you don't know who they are, and who you are, then you're going to be overtaken, right? You're going to be destroyed. So you have to have an awareness of yourself, your values, your morals, your goals, right? Your life focus, because again, the minute you lose focus of that is the minute you become their prey. They like to go off of high emotions, explosiveness, and loudness. And if you don't know who you are, they will pull you in and you will be a part of their theatrical story, okay? Because that's what they're looking for. The next one is be ready. Don't ever assume that things are going to be peaceful with this person, because they have an innate ability, or an innate inability, okay, to regulate themselves. But they have an innate ability to kind of exaggerate everything that they're a part of. It's just kind of who they are, right? A histrionic personality is a personality disorder. And again, a personality disorder, and I've explained it in this video up here, but a personality disorder is a pervasive, chronic, long-standing set of traits that therapy cannot undo. Medication cannot medicate, right? It's who the person is, okay? So if you have somebody who's histrionic, don't believe that anything is going to be peaceful, because it's not. Most things are going to be dramatic and theatrical. The next thing is use psychology. Use your ability to get through society, right? We all know how to put on that face when we need to. If we're sad, we know to smile. If we're happy, we know to kind of regulate that, because we can't be too happy around people, right? You also know how to deal with those absolutely emotionally unstable colleagues of yours. You know what to say, you know what not to say, you know how to appease your boss, you know how to back down, right? So use psychology on the histrionic personality. Figure out what their buttons are, their triggers are, their, hidden spots, and work with that, all right? Figure out what makes them tick, what makes them go, and then figure out what calms them down, okay? And utilize that. You're not being manipulative, you're surviving. It's a survival skill, okay? The next thing is confront wisely. If they're lying on you, if they've cheated with your spouse, if they've done something terrible to you, they've backstabbed you or something, right? Confront them wisely. I mean, if you're not going to do what my next tip is, which is walk away, confront them wisely. Pick the time in the day. Pick a time when their emotional reactivity is low, and figure out how you're going to bring the conversation to the forefront, right? You don't want to just confront them and say, what did you just do? I don't appreciate that. Don't do that, because their defenses is going to go way up, and you're not going to like it. Okay, so confront wisely. The next one, walk away, right? Don't be bothered with them. Walk out of their life. You don't need it. Cherish yourself, your mind, your abilities, your talents, your skills, your values enough to say, I'm out of here. You're not going to do this to me, right? I've had to do it in my life. You're not doing this to me, right? So I encourage you to do the same thing. It's hard, but not impossible. The next thing, and the final thing, is encourage therapy and medication. A personality, again, is a pervasive, long-standing, chronic set of behaviors and personality traits that's difficult to undo. But if you can get the individual into counseling, or encourage them to get into counseling, a therapist can point out their traits and call them out on their behaviors. Sometimes all histrionic personalities need is a therapist to get in their head and to say, here's what you're doing wrong, and here's what you're saying that's wrong, and here's where your reactions were way overboard. I've done it before, right? It kind of helps sometimes. Don't look for a miracle, because a personality is a personality, right? You can't change it. But can it change? Yeah, with the right therapist, the right approach, and their willingness to change. And medication. Sometimes their emotions go way, way up because they're too anxious, they're too depressed, they're just, they need their mood symptoms to come down, they need their anxiety to come down, so they won't be so explosive when they are triggered. They are so tiring, guys. So, if you're dealing with a personality like this, I feel for you. I've dealt with it in work settings, in my personal life, with friends, with family. I've dealt with it. It is so difficult. So, it will wear you down. Remember your self-care, because if you don't, oh my God, they're going to just take you down. They're so tiring. They really, really are. So thank you so much, guys, for being in this video with me today. Thank you so much for the subscribers who suggested this topic and asked about it. Thank you so much. I'm always looking for new topics, so if you have one, post it in the comment section below. We're going to jump back into a new topic next week, because I've been doing videos that I didn't say I was going to be doing this month in our series, guys, because you guys have had so many awesome suggestions. So we'll get to those. I promise you that. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.